Dear students, I really welcome every one of you in my Taxation Finance Act 2024 course. I am myself Abil Ahmed, CEO and Principal of Abil School of Accountancy. In today's demo lecture, what exactly we are going to discuss? One, we'll be discussing this Finance Act is valid for how many attempts? Second, what exactly ASA offers you in taxation, which makes our tax a very unique course, a very focused course. That is why we are having such a healthy passing rate. Plus, we'll be discussing the paper pattern as well, and we will also start the course from today as well. Let us first discuss the Finance Act 2024. Dear students, this Finance Act 2024 is valid for June 25 attempt, September 25, December 25, and March 26 will be the last attempt of this Finance Act 2024. Now, some of the students they think, sir, that we are in 2025, yes. Then the Finance Act is 2024, yes. Basically, in UK, we study the Finance Act in UK is 1 year, the previous one. Like we are in 25, the Finance Act will be of 24, and it is also in the rest of the world also. So we are in 25, but the Finance Act is 2024. Now, what exactly ASA offers you in the taxation course, which makes our taxation course unique, different from rest of the world, I would say. Number one is the entire taxation just within 75 lectures. Look at this. Entire tax means entire. Just within 75 lectures, not only just 75 lectures. The good thing is, one lecture on average, it is just 40 minutes long. Because me and my think tank, we strongly believe if the video lecture goes even more than 1 hour, student they lose their focus, they will not sit with the concentration, and they just lose their interest. That is why we come up with a solution. The lecture should not be very long. So on average, it is 40 minutes. That's it. Which means that if I just convert that into hours, 75 lectures multiplied by 40 minutes divided by 60. Let's see how many hours. 75, 40 upon 60. Just 50 hours, students, only 50 hours. The entire taxation course can be completed within 50 hours. That is number one unique product, I would say, which we offer you in taxation. By spending only 50 hours, you can complete the entire tax. Second product which we'll provide you, that is the focus notes. We'll give you in focus notes, basically within 60 pages, we have covered the entire Finance Act, just within 60 pages. And you just go through those 60 pages, which we are going to provide you. No need to read any book. So 60 pages of focus notes, they replace your actual 1,000 pages book. Great. Third, we will be discussing Kaplan Kit Finance Act 2024. And just there are a number of positions in taxation, but I never forget one of them is took 99 marks. So we have the honor to produce the world top as well in taxation paper. Now, if I just give you a little bit idea about the taxation course, I'll come to this. But before that, the product number 5, which or 4 you can say, which I really want to mention, that is weekly live revision classes. I'm not saying class, I'm saying classes, weekly live revision classes. They are the game changer. In weekly live revision classes, when we conduct weekly live revision classes, we have 3 objectives. Number 1, within 18 to 20 hours, we will give you the entire taxation course revision. So it means just by spending 18 to 20 hours, you can complete the entire course. Just imagine. If you have seen all the pre-recorded lectures, 75, you have covered the entire course once. Second time, you will be covering the entire taxation course through live revision classes. Just within 18 to 20 hours, we will cover the entire taxation course. If you miss the live revision class, no worries at all. On the same day, the recording will be uploaded and it will be available to you. Second objective of the live revision classes is actually these live revision classes. They give you the opportunity to interact with your tutor weekly. Third, another important area, what is that? While studying with us, if you come up with any question from your Kaplan kit, either it's a multiple choice question, it's a section C question, long question, any question, you can just share that question with me. We can discuss that question as well in the live revision classes. So basically, live revision classes, you will be getting a revision of entire course. If you want any area to be discussed in detail, just message in your relevant WhatsApp group. We will be giving extra time to that area. Third, if you have any issue in any question of Kaplan kit, normally you will not have any issue at all, but still you have any issue, that can be discussed in live revision classes. And that gives you the weekly opportunity to interact with your tutor as well. And finally, we are going to conduct your mock at least 12, otherwise maximum 15 days before the exam. That mock again gives you the opportunity to evaluate yourself, and still you will be having at least 12, maximum 15 days. Even you perform, let's say, not up to the mark in your mock, still you will have the time to bounce back. So attempting the mock is key. I'm going to personally check your mock and give you the personalized feedback. Just quickly, ASA admin number, those students, they are within Pakistan. So these are our numbers, admin number. You can contact admin. Those students, they are outside Pakistan. So these are ASA admin numbers. Now let us quickly discuss the paper pattern. Paper pattern of taxation, and you are studying Finance Act 2024 and the variant is UK. I'm always in the favor of UK variant because it has a really high passing rate. One, it has a really high passing rate, and second, obviously, the passing rate of taxation at ASA is far more than what official taxation passing rate is. Now, what is a paper pattern of tax? Very simple. Section A, you have 15 multiple choice question, each question 2 marks. But MCQs in section A can come from any area of the syllabus. It means that you have to have a really good grip on the entire course. If you're skipping some of the topics, that is dangerous for section A. Now section B. In section B, students, there will be 3 questions, 10 marks each. So again, total there are 30 marks. But in section B, what is the style of the question? In section B, there will be a small scenario. Let's say this question number 1 in the section B, there will be a small scenario. On that small scenario, examiner is going to ask 5 multiple choice questions from you. And each multiple choice obviously will have 2 marks. But in section B, you will not directly get any MCQs. You will be having a scenario. On that scenario, There will be 3 scenarios. On each scenario, there will be 5 multiple choice questions with 2 marks. Again, section B, question in the section B can come from any area of the taxation course. Again, you cannot skip any area. But in section A and B, mainly, if in section A and B, I would say spreadsheet is not required, then you don't need the knowledge of a spreadsheet. But when it comes to section C, long questions, definitely long question you will be solving on a spreadsheet. And don't worry at all, if it is your first paper and you have no idea at all about the CB format, we will guide you. You just need to follow our instructions. That's it. In section B, altogether, there will be 3 questions. In section C, altogether, there will be 3 questions. Question 1, that is 10 marks. Now, 10 marks question again can come from any area of the syllabus. There will be 2 15 marks question. One question will focus on income tax of individuals, and the second question will focus on corporation tax. When it comes to the long question, when it comes to the spreadsheet, MS Word sections, in section C, you have to use, for the calculation part, you'll be using I would say spreadsheet, and for the theory part, you'll be using MS Word. That is all about your paper pattern. Now, in taxation course, what are the main topics and what is the sequence? In which sequence we have covered this taxation course? Number 1, the entire taxation course can be divided into 6 large heads. Number 1 is taxation for individuals, like how individuals they pay tax in UK. And we always start from individuals. Like an individual is getting an employment income, so how that individual will be paying tax on employment income, what are the rules for the employment income, how do we calculate employment income? Obviously, we'll be discussing each and everything in detail. Another example is if an individual is getting a rental income. So what are the rules for the rental income? How do we pay tax on that? Individual could be a sole trader. What are the rules? So all these things we'll be discussing when we'll be learning calculation of taxation relating to individuals. The second topic is capital gain tax. If an individual has sold shares of XYZ company and there's a capital gain on the disposal, how individual will pay tax on CGT, we'll learn that. Capital gain tax, you will be studying in 2 ways. Number 1, if individual is having a capital gain, how individual pays tax? If one company sells shares of another company and having a capital gain, how a corporation, a company will pay tax on CGT, you will study that as well. IST, inheritance tax. What are the rules for the inheritance tax? You will see that as well. VAT, value added tax, a very easy topic, I would say, and very interesting. And there's a little change in Finance Act 2024. So obviously, we'll be discussing each and everything according to Finance Act 2024. Corporation tax, extremely important and an easy area. And at the end, we'll be discussing self-assessment for individuals and corporations. Self-assessment means how an individual is going to pay tax, what are the dates, when to submit the return, if it is submitted late, so what are the penalties, how much interest individual will have to pay, what are the penalties for the corporation. So we'll discuss each and everything. And one more thing, and then we'll be starting as well. What is that? Students, let me tell you one thing. I always teach from zero. I always assume students, they don't carry any previous knowledge. So even it is your first paper of a skill level, you should not be worried about anything at all. All you need is follow the instructions which are given to you. That's it. Okay. A very basic concept of tax we'll discuss, number 1. Second, in today's class, we'll discuss little bit how to apply the tax rates and how do we calculate income tax liability so that I can give you a flavor. Exactly what is my style of teaching, each and everything. One more thing. After getting enrolled yourself at my college in taxation course, you will be put immediately into the WhatsApp group where all the enrolled students are there. And let me tell you, when you'll be asking a question in your relevant WhatsApp group, I'm going to personally reply your queries. There's no teacher assistant. I always reply to my students because I strongly believe I'm in a better position to answer, to resolve your queries rather than my teacher assistant. So no teacher assistant at all in any paper. Teacher personally replies. So let's develop the understanding of simply tax. Now listen, if someone asks you, what do you mean by tax? Actually, tax means a source of revenue for the government. Now, why government charges tax? The objective is the government is going to charge the tax to the wealthy people, to the corporations. Government is going to collect the cash from them, collect the tax from them, and then after that, government is going to spend that money for the welfare of their people, for the welfare of the whole country. So simply, tax is a source of revenue for the government. Now, next point, we are starting taxation from individuals. Now, how an individual calculates income tax liability, we'll be discussing everything. But before that, you need to know one thing. When it comes to an individual could have number of sources of income. On each source of income, applicable tax rates are different. They're not same. The rules are different. So broadly, we can divide the sources of income into three main categories. Sources of income for the individual. Number one, non-saving income. The second is saving income. Saving income simply means interest income. Finally, dividend income. Sources of income. So individual could be having a non-saving income, could be having saving income and dividend income. Now, saving income means simply interest income. That's it. And dividend income means we know that dividend. Now the question is, what do you mean by non-saving income? Number one, understanding income which is not saving income, which is not dividend income. Obviously, that is non-saving income. Now, let me give you a few examples of non-saving income. For example, employment income is a non-saving income. Property income means rental income. Again, it's a non-saving income. One more possibility. Individual could be a sole trader. So if individual is a sole trader, it means trading profit. Trading profit, again, it's a non-saving income. In fact, pension income also falls in non-saving income. There's a possibility that individual is also a partner in a partnership firm. So if you are a partner in a partnership firm, you will be getting a share of profit from the partnership. So getting that share of profit from a partnership is also a non-saving income. Share of profit from the partnership firm. So basically, when we say non-saving income, examples are employment income, Rental income, that individual has own number of properties or just one property, given that property on rent. So rental income is a non-saving income. Trading income, individual could be a sole trader. Pension income also falls in non-saving income. And if individual is a partner in a partnership firm, so the share of profit which individual is getting because as he is a partner, so that also falls in as in the head of non-saving income. Now, first of all, in today's demo lecture, we will learn how to calculate income tax if individual is earning from non-saving, if individual is having a non-saving income. I've given you the examples like employment income, property income means rental income, trading profit. All of these are examples of non-saving income. Now listen, before we apply income tax rates on non-saving, let me just write the tax rates and let me tell you one thing. All these tax rates which I'm going to just write over here, they will be given to you in exam. So right now we are discussing for non-saving income. Basic rate, that is from £1 till 37,700. Applicable tax rate is 20%. Higher rate starts from 37,701, goes till 1,25,140. Applicable tax rate is 40%. Additional rate, 1,25,141 plus above, then there is no limit. Applicable rate is 45%. And let me just show you the table of tax rates, and that will be given to you in exam. So the tax rates will be produced in examination for tax from June 25 till March 26. Calculation and working need only be made to the nearest pounds. All apportionment should be nearest months. All working should be shown in section C because section C long questions. You can see that these tax rates, they will be given to you. The entire document which you can see over here, this document will be given to you in exam. And as soon as you will be registered, you will be getting this document as well. Don't worry at all. So I just wanted to show you one thing, that all these tax rates information will be given to you in exam. Now let's try a question. Assuming we have Mr. X, he's assuming employment income of, let's say, 60,000. And the requirement is calculate income tax liability. Obviously, employment income is a non-saving income. Employment income is a non-saving income. So how do we calculate income tax liability? Let's see. Number one, I'm just writing employment income, which is a non-saving income. So the employment income is 60,000. Now the question is, do we need to pay tax on the entire 60,000? The answer is no. In UK, individuals, they get personal allowance. The income which is over and above the personal allowance, that income is treated as a taxable income. And tax is paid on that taxable income. What is the limit of personal allowance in Finance Act 2024? So it is 12,570. Personal allowance. Personal allowance. Individual get personal allowance, which is 12,570. So when individual is having income over and above the personal allowance, on that income, individual will be paying tax. So employment income minus personal allowance will give us taxable income. And tax is paid on that taxable income 60,000 minus 12,570. I'm getting taxable income 47,430. So we have this individual will have to pay tax on 47,430. Okay. Now the next question is, how do we apply the tax rates? Okay. You cannot apply directly 40%. Why? Because look at this high rate. Application of high rate 40% does not start from pound one. Actually, it starts from 37,701, which means that first you have to use the basic rate band limit. After that, you will go for a higher rate. Let me show you income tax. This individual is having a taxable income of 47,430, but directly 40% is not applicable. First, you have to use the basic rate. Once the limit of basic rate is fully utilized, after that you will go for higher rate. So basic rate ends at 37,700 into 20%. I'll get 7,540. So any income which is over and above 37,700, actually that falls in high rate. Taxable income of this individual is 47,430. Taxable income of this individual is 47,430. From this 47,430, I will deduct 37,700. Why? Because we have already applied the tax on 37,700. So 47,430 minus 37,700. Students, I'm getting 9,730. From 47,430, you need to deduct 37,700. Whatever comes, that will actually fall in higher rate. That is 9,730 into 40%. I'm getting 3,892. If you just add, you will get 47,430. So here comes your income tax liability. $7,540 plus 3,892. 11,432. So income tax liability is 11,432. Okay. Let's see one more question. Assuming Mr. X is having employment income is a non-saving income. Assuming Mr. X is having employment income of 40,000. The requirement is simply income tax liability. We just need to calculate income tax liability. Let's try. Let me write employment income. 40,000. Again, on this 40,000, you cannot directly apply the tax rate. On this 40,000, you cannot directly apply the tax rate. First, you have to deduct the personal allowance. Income which is over and above the personal allowance, only on that income you have to pay the tax. On this 40,000, you will not apply the tax rate directly. First, you have to deduct the personal allowance. After deducting the personal allowance, you will get taxable income. And tax rate is applicable on taxable income. So less personal allowance. $12,570. So 40,000 minus 12,570, the taxable income is 27,430. So the taxable income is 27,430. Now listen very carefully. Obviously, the entire 27,430 falls in basic rate band. The basic rate ends at 37,700, and this individual's taxable income is even lower than that. So directly you will get an answer. Income tax. Simply 27,430 into 20%. 27,430 into 20%. I'm getting 5,486. This is your income tax liability. Wow. So simply this is your income tax liability 5,486. One more question. Let's say Mr. X is having employment income 70,000 pound. The requirement is income tax liability. Now I really want every one of you just pause the video, attempt the question, and after that obviously unpause the video to compare your answer. Let's solve this. Again, employment income is a non-saving income, okay? Employment income 70,000. Again, on directly 70,000, you cannot apply tax rate. First, you have to deduct the personal allowance, which is 12,570 in Finance Act 2024. Here comes your taxable income. 70,000 minus 12,570. I'm getting taxable income 57,430. I'm getting taxable income 57,430. Basic rate. Again, directly you cannot apply 40%. First, you have to use basic rate. Basic rate ends at 37,700 into 20%. I'm getting 7,540. Basically, the limit of the basic rate band is from £1 till 37,700. We have applied the tax on 37,700 now. The total taxable income is 57,430. From this 57,430, dear students, you will deduct 37,700. Whatever is left, that actually falls in higher rate. So 57,430 minus 37,700, I'm getting 19,730. That actually falls in higher rate band. 19,730 into 40%. I'm getting 7,892. So here comes your income tax liability. 7,540 plus 7,892. So your income tax liability is 15,432. So students, the first lecture on FA24, I just want to end on one word by giving you a simple message. Number one, this is how I teach. I always teach from zero, as I mentioned. Second, each lecture on average, it will be just 40 minutes long. So by spending 50 hours, you can complete your entire taxation paper. You will be getting a weekly live revision classes, WhatsApp support where I'm going to personally answer your queries. So that is all from my side from ASA for taxation 2024. So thank you very much.